today's topic is to discuss when the storm comes your way, even though you might be doing great right now and you're happy and life is going the way you want. That's absolutely great. But I'm talking about when life hits you and if we're not prepared for it and we only believe in the fairy tale story that life is just perfect and it's going to go absolutely amazing. But what happens if we believe in only the fairy tale and forget the challenges that life is actually going to throw at us? The topic may be for you or somebody you may know, or it may be this topic is, it might be that you need to reach out or someone will reach out to you and you know what to say. But something brought you here today to listen to this talk. Something, I don't know what it is, but something brought you here. But I'm here today to say, giving up should not be an option, no matter which direction your life turns. You are too valuable to give up, no matter what the situation may be. But I also want to talk to you about certain feelings that we all feel at some point in our lives. And you may already know this, but sometimes we all need reminding why they're there. You know that feeling of doubt, that feeling of not being good enough, that feeling of not reaching your goals or not being heard, having a low self-esteem, the feeling of betrayal, fear, and the lack of self-belief. We all get them. You are not the only one that has those days. But sometimes these emotions are caused by others. But some are caused, by different situations you face. But also, we can do this to ourselves by possibly overthinking. Either way, it's a choice you make, whether to hold on to the emotion or let it go. This can only be a decision you make. Don't give anyone or anything that much power over you. Many of you may have experienced many different emotions, and you have just made it through the storm and are now embracing the light. And that is great, to have finally got to the point of self-belief. And you should celebrate how far you've come. But I am also aware that there may be a few that are still trying to survive the storm and may feel quitting is the only option. Well, I am here today to talk to that person. The storm will come, and it may hit you hard. You may feel days longer than others. You may feel like you're drowning. There may be days where you feel completely alone and you just want to sit there for hours and cry. And you may start to believe that you're invisible and not important, and you want to isolate yourself. You must understand that shutting away from the world is not your way out. You cannot allow this feeling to consume you. When you are going through tough situations, it is so easy to just focus on the pain the struggles and the hurt and all the negativity it attaches itself to. But if you're still holding tight to the very thing that is crippling you, and holding you back, you cannot move forward. It will only overtake your life if you allow it to. Think about it. If you are not moving forward, what are you really doing for yourself? You cannot have got this far to give up by choice. These are choices only you can make. Don't start to believe you're not in control. I know what going through tough storms can do, believe me. Especially if you allow it to consume you. It will suck your energy dry, that you will find it harder to see the light. And it will damage you not only spiritually, emotionally, but also physically. That you become too weak to move forward. And this cannot be the result. So many of us are going to experience different situations, and they are going to test us. And right now, you may be tested with your health. It may be your spouse. It may be your job. It may be your child. It may be your heart. And it may be relationships. If you do not push forward, it may break you mentally. As long as you hold on to the very cause of the storm, you're not going to be able to see the blessings. We are going to go through difficult situations. In different ways, some harder than others. No one is free from this. But every situation is unique. And it is usually the making of you. It should be your victory of making it through. I am a great believer. The tougher the test, the stronger the person. Look at some of the strongest people in your lives. And I believe you'll agree with me when I say that they have gone through the most testing of storms. But coming out of it, they found themselves to be stronger and have become an inspiration for others. The only way to get through your situation is to believe in yourself. You may have heard it many times, but you cannot ignore the truth. It's a powerful reminder, especially if you're lacking self-belief. No one is going to believe in you like you will. You must get up and do something about it. Take one step at a time. I know initially the first step may be the hardest, but then it will get easier until you find yourself running, even if the storm is trying to hit back. You know, giving up isn't an option. You must just keep pushing through for yourself. Even if you feel like your world is falling apart, you need to know that giving up means you're not giving up on the world around you, but something bigger and something greater than that. And that's you. Don't care how difficult a situation may be. You must keep going. Keep focused. Move the obstructions out of the way, even if they are in your mind. Quitting cannot be an option because you haven't got this far to give up now. Darkness will only consume your life if you allow it in. You're in control, remember that. What we must understand is that life is going to be full of pain and disappointment at times. We are going to have to experience the pain of disappointment, the pain of love, the pain of failure, the pain of not being accepted, the pain of change, the pain of loss, and the pain of pain. There are so many different emotions that we are going to have to endure to help us to grow through life. But we must also understand that there is no gain without pain. Us to grow through life. But we must also understand that there is no gain without pain. Ask yourselves, how do you know you're happy if you never experience sadness? How do you know you're healthy if you were never unwell? How do you know you reached your goal if you did not experience failure? How do you know you're floating if you never experienced drowning? And how do you know you're embracing the sun if you didn't go through the storm? See, every situation should bring out the best in you and the strong in you. And I believe it's the making of you. But that all depends on you and how you see it. What do you do with it? What do you hold on to? If it's weighing you down, that's a strong sign for you to let go, and it will be made easy. Why is it that the very thing that is hurting us and holding us back, we tend to hold on to, and then wonder why we feel so miserable and we can't move on? Why is that? There are going to be many things that we are not in control of. And the worst thing that you can do to yourself in that situation is allow it to control you. You must remember that you are in control of yourself and no one else. So don't isolate yourself when things get too much. That's just making things harder for you. If you are struggling to control yourself, reach out to those that are going to bring the best out in you and are going to help you figure out how to move forward. Even if they're not amongst your family, reach out to your friends. And if they're not amongst your friends, reach out to your family. At these times, it's so important to surround ourselves with those that can lift us up. Never, and I mean never, be ashamed of reaching out and asking for help. You may not realize that you're doing so well already. You're already halfway there. You're still going through the storm, but you've made it halfway through. You are doing the hardest part of the situation. You've got up and you have survived another day. You have breathed another breath. And you haven't quit. But you know that unwanted voice that lingers in our minds? The negative voice which will try and echo thoughts to keep us controlled. We need to realize that those thoughts are thoughts that you've kept hold of and put them in the back of your mind. Whether it's over the years, whether it's recently, you've made that decision to hold on to them. So if you are holding on to them, you're holding on to that bag of negativity, you can also get rid of it. But you, the true you inside of all that is what has got you here today. You know that every time you had that opportunity to give up and give in, you saw the opportunity to stay stronger and fight through it because you believe you're worth it. You know you're important, and you know that they're your choices, and that's why you found reason to keep going. And that's why it hurts, because you know the truth. You're put here for a reason, and it wasn't so you give up on the very person that makes the world complete. That's why you cannot give up, because if you did, you would have went through all the hell for nothing. So I'm talking directly to that person that feels that they are insignificant and ready to give up. I'm telling you, you cannot, and that you're nearly there. You're so close to winning this. You are a true fighter, and that's why you haven't given up. You have amazing things ahead of you. You put up with all the hell, and you're still alive. You're still pushing through. And now you cannot let it defeat you. It is about getting through the breaking point. And that's when you see the blessings in your lives. It's not what you go through that determines who you are or where you end up. It is who you choose to listen to. You determine who you are. And I've learned this. If I was to hear all the negativity in my life, I would not be sitting here today speaking to you and trying to reach out and desperately trying to get this message that you are so important. You are so valuable. And every decision in your life, that's your decision to make. My advice after you have got over the initial pain is that you tell yourself that the only way you can fail is if you quit. And you tell yourself as many times as you need that quitting is not an option, and keep moving forward. You stay focused because you're important. You've got this. It doesn't matter how many fails you have had, how many lies you may have made, how many mistakes you've done, how much money you've lost, how many wrong decisions you took. You can come back from anything. You just have to believe in yourself. It doesn't matter if people sit there and tell you there's no going back, because that's the biggest lie that anyone can tell you. And if someone makes you feel insignificant, walk away. Listen to the inner you. You do not stop trying because things get tough, because that's life. Tough times will come. You have to approach pain with possibilities. See the blessing and embrace your growth, because no one else is going to. Because if it wasn't for the storm, you wouldn't truly see your strength. So embrace the storms. Embrace the tests that help you change and grow. And remember, no one ever said going through the storm was going to be easy. But you're not a quitter. Ultimately, if you're out there and you believe you're doing it for your kids, your family, your friends, your loved ones, ultimately, you have to do it for yourself. And that will push through. That will give strength to the ones around you. But if you allow it to consume you, it will not only affect you, but it will affect those around you. You have to get up and you have to keep moving forward. The most rewarding part of the storm is getting through the storm. So, what are you going to do with your struggles? Who are you going to reach out to if you feel your mind isn't at the place it needs to be? We have friends, we have family, and they are there for a reason. Not only for the happy times, but for also when things get hard. And I know that if it wasn't for my family and friends, I would not be sitting here today. So please, take that step. Let go of that is hurting you and holding you back. And embrace life. Embrace change. Because there are amazing things coming your way.